Pornographic images online have long provided moral and ethical debate, but here's a new twist. What happens when those images are being viewed in a public place, like a library?
WGN's Julie Unruh is here with more. Julie, what have you found?
Well, we're talking about pornography watched by dozens of computer users at a time all over the third floor of Chicago's landmark library. The library claims it's a First Amendment right, and that may be. However, what about patrons who don't care to watch the explicit images? They say the X-rated access at the public library is leaving them exposed.
It's definitely not the library of my childhood memory.
Don and Amanda Bracci live in the South Loop and do volunteer work for the homeless. It often took them here to the third floor of Chicago's Harold Washington Public Library. That's until Amanda couldn't stand it anymore.
I used to associate the word library with safety and learning and fun.
Not anymore, she says. Every time she and her husband went there, pornographic images everywhere, they claim. So we asked, in 10, 15, 20% of the room?
I see it all times of the day, and I'd say 25% is right on.
So we decided to see for ourselves. This concealed camera shows dozens of patrons looking at adult pornography in plain view, with privacy screens attached to all 135 computers. Still, aisle after aisle, the images are impossible to avoid. If it's adult sexual content, there are no laws to stop it. But we asked the library's commissioner, should it be allowed here?
The library is not the villain here. We're not promoting pornography. We're not endorsing pornography. We are making a medium available to people, and that is the internet.
No warning signs on the walls, no filters in the system. As for security guards, they are there to keep order, we're told. Nothing more.
No library is in favor of this, but we have no ability to control it.
Children 14 and under are supposed to use the second floor lab, but as we found, children are not prohibited from entering the third floor. This computer user watched what some may consider indecent video for almost an hour straight, as did the users to the right and left, as well as two behind them. And while we were there, this young girl walked right past the group, peering over the shoulders of people all the way down the aisle. She was innocently following an adult at the time.
If that child was there with an adult, that adult should have had a better control over what that child was doing.
After we met with the commissioner, we were allowed to film with our large video camera right there in the middle of the third floor. It was a Wednesday, around noon. Still, with our obvious presence, the video could be spotted in different parts of the room. And that's what's troubling Luisa Masondo. She, too, doesn't visit the third floor anymore.
This person was touching himself. Then I realized I don't even want to touch the computer that I'm using. It's just kind of unhygienic, and it was just gross.
The library keeps its copies of Playboy behind the counter, but more explicit online pornography is out in the open. As for program filters, Commissioner Dempsey maintains they don't work. She says they catch only words, not inappropriate images, and sometimes they accidentally block useful websites. But other libraries around the Chicago area do use filters. Lake Forest, Schaumburg, and Oak Lawn, to name a few. Chicago Heights will even ban you from their computers for a whole year if staff catches you watching porn on the internet. Congressman Danny Davis is ready to listen. He says he's not a fan of censorship and believes in a person's First Amendment right to free speech. Still, he says, something more can be done.
In the public way, in the public purvey, in the public environment, I think there ought to be some way of filtering, blocking, or screening out those images that people may not want to see.
The FCC says if it involves federal funding, the agency is open to doing something.
If the chairman decided to put on our agenda, then I would be interested in taking a look at.
Good news for Amanda Bracci and her husband, who say their complaints have fallen on deaf ears. Now they hope parents and others will at least be more aware of exactly how their taxpayer dollars are at work.
I think these parents would be shocked to walk onto that floor in the library where the internet computers are and see what their children are able to see every day.
But I don't want to go anywhere near that computer section, and if I can avoid going at all, I will.
Now, the Chicago Public Library makes it very clear that if anyone is caught breaking the law that's watching child pornography, staff is instructed to call the police and hold that person until they get there. We want to invite your comments tonight. Just go to WGNTV.com/library to share your thoughts with us.
Bet we get a lot of them.
I think we might.